Good evening, and welcome to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we come to you every Wednesday to inspire, to encourage, and to empower you to live a healthier lifestyle. And so, the purpose of this podcast is to gather knowledge and make people more aware of the situations around their environment and things that are happening around them to cause them not to live a healthier lifestyle. So, I'm trying to make them more aware of that and to help people because someone is always helping me. And that is the purpose of Sweet Blessings. So I want to welcome you again. I got a few little housekeeping things I want to do. We have an extremely, um, uh, I'm so excited about our guest for tonight. Hopefully she will shed a little light on plant-based nutrition. She's a nutritional plant-based coach and a chef, and she's going to share a few little, give us few little tips this evening. So before I begin, I just want to let you know that my Facebook followers can support me by sending stars, and stars help me earn money to make more content. As well. And then I do want to let you know that I am on Facebook. I have a jewelry company, jewelry business, and I come live with that on Tuesdays, Thursday, and Friday. And you're more than welcome to join me there to watch me there. This is my Facebook there. And also on Thursdays, I do Facebook and Instagram. So you can check me out on either one of those platforms as well. I also have a Bit. This is my Bit. It is my website for if you want to, say for instance, you might want to advertise or become a sponsor or have a commercial slot or a guest slot. And so you can secure that spot at listine1@gmail, or you can go to ctrmedianetwork.com to secure that spot. And I think that's all my housekeeping. The last thing I always want to remind everyone is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, SWE. That is the platform right now that I am really trying to increase my viewers on. So you could help me out by doing that as well. So I believe that maybe one more thing, my email, which it was in that other thing, but this is it again. So in case you want to reach out to me, or you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to do so. So now what we are going to do is we are going to break for a short commercial. And when I come back, I'm going to introduce our guest for this evening. So just bear with me just a few more moments while I get this together for you. Here we go.
Join the She Trucking Foundation today and be a part of a supportive community of women in the trucking industry. Unlock exclusive access to valuable resources, including mentorship, educational workshops, and networking opportunities. Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting your trucking journey, She Trucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights.
All righty, I got a special treat here. This person does not even know. righty. I want to bring to the stage Miss Candace. Candace, you're muted. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't say anything,
Okay.
No.
So that was my surprise for you.
Yeah, you almost had me tear up. I was not expecting that.
I
Everybody
know you weren't. That was my surprise because this is a family program. I try to reach. I'm a former retired. I forgot to introduce myself, but I am a retired school teacher,
Oh.
and I'm also an author.
Mm,
I and I'm an entrepreneur, educational consultant. I do quite. I carry many, many, many hats.
mm,
And so I one of the main reasons of this is I wanted my program to be a family oriented program so that
mm,
children, so you'll see that I do incorporate children in my thing because that's very important. You know,
mhm.
early childhood education to me was one of my it's one of my very, very things. But you all, this is Candace, and I'm going to tell you all that I met her about just before COVID. Am I correct?
Yep. Uh,
I
no,
think
it was after. I want to say it was like a year, like I think it was 2021. I think. Yeah. Yeah,
was
it was 2021. I want to say. Right? Yes, it was 2021.
okay. It might have been because we were. It was in Lake Geneva. I do
Yes.
remember that.
Yep.
So and she was cooking you all. She had some meals there, and they were quite delicious. In fact, I ordered a couple of them, and I've always been interested in plant-based um, thing because as you get older, your dietary needs seem to change a little bit,
Yes.
and so mine have changed a great deal. They have not stopped me from eating what I should, and I can eat anything, but I
Mm,
have to do low sodium. Okay.
mm.
And but I'm always interested in learning about other things. So the first thing is I'm going to have you tell the audience a little bit about yourself. Give us a little bit background.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. My name is Kandace Jackson. I am a certified plant-based nutritionist of Cornell University. I am a vegan chef, health coach, um, yeah, author now.
I
I had to think through them too. I got to myself.
I always, because I always forget one.
Yeah, I'm
And
sitting up here like, what else? Yeah,
guess which one I forgot.
which one?
I'm the host of.
Oh, of course,
I,
Sweet
I
Blessings.
I always forget. Sometimes I have to write them down. So don't
I
worry about that.
understand.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I am man, a culinary expert. A little bit of a few other things about me. I taught the culinary medicine lab 2 years in a row at Rosalind Franklin University. They asked me to come there. I taught high schoolers and grade school students through the trio at CLC.
Mhm.
Um, Many webinars and cooking demos and man, I'm also in tech as well. Um, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a cousin, I'm a daughter. It's a lot. Each one of them, when you speak about family and this being a family platform, each one of them hold its own, special place or special space, within each one of us. And
Mhm.
so I take each one of those roles very seriously. Um, so yeah, that's about me. I actually been plant based. To give a little backstory, I've been plant based for 8 years.
Okay.
Um, it started after I had my 8 year old, during her first year of nursing and then moving into eating solids. I was just ready for a change. Usually, in most cases, when you hear a person who goes plant based, they were either brought up in it by their parents, or they had a medical emergency.
Right.
They
It's
found the
usually
need to change.
medical.
Well, for me, it wasn't medical. It was more so just being in tune with my body. I've
Hmm.
always been in tune with my body ever since I was young. If something was off, didn't feel right, I asked questions. And so 8 years ago, I asked my mother, I feel bloated, but like I'm hungry. Like, what is this? I don't,
Hmm.
it's off for me. And she was just like, let go of the meat for a little while, just do a little bit of veggies, fruits. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna set myself up for 1 week and not do that. And then I went back to eating the meat. And ever since then, it was like I just always had this reoccurring vision in my head about what I did during that week and how I felt just great during that entire week. And I'm like, I had my daughter not too long after that. And I was like, I think I'm done. I think I'm done. So I did a 30-day challenge for myself. It was me and a friend of mine. Did a 30-day challenge where we took out something and replaced it with something else. And I found that just doing that naturally, that people who want to do it now, people always say, well, I took away the chicken and then I went back to it and that was it, but what I actually did was I replaced it with something that was plant-based, and that's what helped me stick and stay
Hey,
to
yeah.
what was happening. Yeah, and then after that, I started posting it on Facebook. I was up till midnight. My husband would be like, "Are you going to bed yet?" And I'm like, "Wait, let me figure out this recipe really quick." I was really in the kitchen applying it day after day, week after week, posting it on Facebook because that's what we do, post things we like. And
Hmm.
next thing you know, people started asking questions, and I'm like, I know this, I know this, I know this. And then when I started to really realize that I knew a lot more than I thought I did, I just went down the rabbit hole. And ever since then, never came back up, and then ended up on the other side of it all. And it's the best choice I've ever made in my life.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm always curious. Now, the next question is, what are
Yeah.
your dietary beliefs?
Okay, so um, my dietary beliefs is how can I explain this one? It's pretty complex. Um, I usually just stick with a motto that I actually tell a lot of my clients, which is eat from the earth, like eat from the ground, right? There's so many things that can get you caught up thinking that you're eating something that is plant based, or you're eating something without any animal products in it. And lo and behold, when you look at the recipe or how it's made or where its origins arranged from, then you're like, oh yeah, can't have that either, right? And normally when people start seeing things get cut off of what they knew, they automatically want to go into a frenzy or go, they build up a little bit of stress or anxiety. And it's like, no, you just need to unlearn and relearn. That's pretty much it.
Mhm.
And yes, it takes time. It's a journey, but yeah, my belief is strictly, it's really simple. Just eat from the earth. If it grows out of the ground, and it's edible, then it's something that I think should be consumed.
Do you grow
Um,
your vegetable? Do you grow your food?
yeah. So, quick story on that. COVID happened, which was very unfortunate for the world, of course.
Yes.
And instantly, it took me into a space where, like, wow, it in a case where you know everything that we go to the grocery store for, or go to the gas station for, or get our needs met at, it can easily be stripped away, right? And
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't know not one thing how to do anything domestically, can't go to your grandparents because they doing their thing, okay, they done teaching, okay. So it's like, what do you do? So I taught myself how to grow my own food in 2020. I started a small garden using buckets and
Okay.
YouTube. I use YouTube and buckets, And next thing you know, I started learning about heirloom seeds, how your soil is the gold of your garden.
Love it. I'm loving this.
Listen, make sure that potassium and nitrogen is in your soil. Get you some earthworms to eat through that compost. Okay,
Hmm.
it just went into it, and I'm like, okay, yes, okay, this is. I'm an earth sign, so my sun sign is an earth sign, and basically the way my birth chart is set up, I'm the earth is my oyster. Like it's this is me, so yeah, I taught myself in 2020 how to grow my own food. It moved from buckets to getting like a, I think it was a 4 foot by 4 foot raised bed garden. uh, Listen, me and my 3-year old at the time, was she 3 or 4? Yeah, I think one of those.
And
We
that
were,
was just great for her.
man, one
Oh,
time it was about 8 o'clock at night, Miss Anna, and I was like, oh my God, it's getting dark, but I really want to finish this. I will never forget this memory. I will never forget this memory. I love my babies. She stood there. I said, Saya, do you want to go in? She said, no, Mama, I want to stay here and finish with you. I said, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to finish this. Laid the garden out. We had tomatoes, collard greens, Brussels sprouts. We even had some edible flowers. And some lettuce and things like that. And she would come down with me every day and check the garden. And I was like, oh, we're good to go. So yeah, I taught myself everything I needed to know. I already knew how to sew, and things of that nature. And I was like, wow, I started to really think like, wow, we really need to grab a hold of, our elders and hone in on what we were taught by our elders, because some of that stuff is not survival. Some of that stuff is essential. Most of it is essential at this point.
it
So
is.
yes, I did have a garden. I don't have one now, because I got to try to rearrange that with 2 babies. But yeah, I did buy some plants for Mother's Day, and the green thumb is still there. So I definitely plan on getting back into it for sure.
Well, I'm an avid gardener. I'm from the South, and so I grew up with gardens, and so
Yeah.
garden is trial and error, and
Hmm.
I'm a firm believer of eating from the earth,
Yes.
because and I believe in eating fresh. Now, I you don't find hardly any canned goods in
Hmm.
in in my house, but what you will find
Hmm.
is a bit. The cabinet is full of spices, so when people come over, they're like, "Girl, you got all
Yes.
these spices," because I'm a I use spices as opposed to
Hmm.
all of those other things,
Hmm.
and so forth. But we're going to take a brief commercial,
Yeah.
and then we're going to come back.
Yep.
And then I'm going to ask you some more questions. Okay, so
Okay.
just hold. Just let me get it together here. I'm a little. Here we go.
You're doing just fine.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, welcome back. And we have Candace Jackson here from Candy's Treats. And she was just telling us about her beliefs. But I'm going to ask her this is a two-part question here.
Hmm.
It is why did you start Candy Treats? And what
Okay.
does Candy Treat represent?
Okay. So I started Candy Treats because I saw the growing need in my community for this information. Um, there were friends and family, coming left and right, asking a lot of questions. And I actually started to find that it was taking up a lot of my time. And I was like, oh, this is currency right here. We're exchanging energy. Okay. And there needs to be some there needs to be something coming back, right? But more so than anything, I've always been a person who have I've always been a person who served. Even when I started working in corporate America, things of that nature, I always found myself in roles of being someone who serves, right? And that, of course, can look many different ways. But for me, it was, the customer service facing person,
Mhm.
um, things of that nature. So when it came to my business, it was easy, to speak to someone about something that I was passionate about. And what I found is that people really gravitate towards the experience. Um, because then when you're reaching to them and they're holding their hand out asking for, hey, what's this, and you can reach back with experiences,
Mhm.
um, the connection was instant with everyone. So Candy Treats popped up because Candy is my nickname. Grew up, my nickname being Candy, but I wanted something that kind of, played off of the public's like suspense. So I know everybody likes sweets, sweet blessings, everybody likes it. Everybody wants something with sugar in it. And so I decided to go with Candy Treats, but instead of it being Candy Treats, where at first when people heard the name, or sometimes when people still hear the name, they say, "Oh, so you got some vegan sweets or something? What's going on?"
I know.
Like, no. But more so for me, treats to me means like treating, or with like how you're treating people, like with hospitality, or with information, and in the mental, the physical, the spiritual, it's everything. And so that's why I went with the name Candy Treats, because it would be me, treating someone, giving them a space of like a sanctuary, or a place where they can come and, sit down and lay things out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Sometimes people just need to be heard. Sometimes people just need to be seen, and for me, from a plant-based perspective or a health perspective, um, having the information and gaining the knowledge that I understood, or if I wasn't an expert in it, because listen, I'll tell you if I don't know. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not one of those where no one knows it all, right?
No, that's
Um,
right.
but I can find the resource, or I already have knowledge of the resource, because in this world of plant-based, everything changes everything every day, just like technology, or just like with anything else. And so being a consistent student in it all, um, there's always something I've seen already, I know of already, I've heard it before, I've probably looked it up and read an article on it, and then start writing notes on it. I got a bunch of notebooks, as you can see. I do a lot of writing, hence being an author. um, but yeah, so the Candy Treats kind of plays off of just who I am as a person. So, and then you said the other question was, okay, wait,
Look, I gotta look it up. I
okay,
gotta look at my notes.
okay.
What I think you kind of get. What does it represent?
Oh, okay, yes,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. What
got
does
it.
it? I think you kind of expounded on that a little bit.
Yes.
Um, there was another question that came up in my mind. Excuse me, when you was talking about. Oh, I just wanted to say that you sound a lot like me
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted. I, people don't realize that physically, socially, emotionally, financially, all those things are work together.
Oh yeah.
Okay, they work together.
Mm-hmm.
And when one is out, the others it's not going to function. We got to try to work it and get it all. But do they
Mm-hmm.
work at the same time? Sometimes no. Does some
Mm-hmm.
work more than others? Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is, I'm a firm believer in that. Now, I put your information. This is her email at the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have a store. Am I correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So stand.store / Candy Treats.
Mm-hmm.
You can go there. My books are actually there. My cookbook, Nurturing Young Hearts, Joyful Family Recipes, is there. There are downloads for as a PDF, so you can just get it right away.
Okay.
My planner is also there. That one is flavorful. I actually have it here.
Please
You know,
show it. Because I really, I tried to download because you had the most beautiful TikTok
thank
with
you.
that, and I tried. I just had difficulty, so I was able to get the one with the family. So
Yeah, no, no problem, no problem. Yeah,
yeah,
so I have Flavorful Journeys, your plant-based tracker. Okay, so just to expound on this a little bit, because this book actually ties into my cookbook,
right. That's what.
um, and it actually ties into my upcoming project that's coming out. Okay, so
Okay.
we got another one. Okay, we got another
Okay.
one. Okay, so with this planner, okay, so let me backtrack briefly. The reason why I created this plant based journal slash planner. It's a mixture of both. Is because first I never seen a journal and a planner before. Again, I am one of those who like paper and pen, and I like to write it all out, and I need to see it all in one place. And so I decided to create a planner slash journal to put everything about planning out your meals, or planning out just taking one item away and replacing it with something else. A lot of times I find that if I put it in my phone, then you use it and then lose it. You've missed the notes, you don't remember where you put them at and things of that nature. But if I know where my book is, and I wrote a note, I have a notebook and I wrote something in it, I know where I put my books at all the time. So it's always easy to grab the book. So in this planner, Flavorful Journeys, your plant-based, it's your plant-based tracker. I have information in the beginning, short and brief. Okay, I didn't want to do too much in the planner. But basically, I have tips for grocery shopping in here, like how you grocery shop. Um, you know, um, Basically, well, the tips for grocery shopping starts with the PLU codes. So those little stickers that you see on your fruits and vegetables, what do they mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some of them mean organic, some of them mean conventional, some of them mean genetically modified, and some of them actually goes by bulk weight. Now, another part is there's sometimes where you would buy something and it's been sprayed with pesticides. But what I would like for you guys to do, it's not in my book, but what I would like for you all to do is Google the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Okay.
I'm gonna
The
write that down.
Dirty Dozen is a list of a dozen fruits and vegetables where when they are sprayed with pesticides, those pesticides go right through to the core.
Okay.
So in that case, the Dirty Dozens list is the list that you want to buy organic if you can,
Okay.
right? And then if you have the Clean 15, now this is the budget friendly way that I'm speaking on this.
Mm-hmm.
The Clean 15 is if you see those conventional PLU codes, those little stickers, and they start with a 4, and they're a part of your Clean 15 list, it's safe to take those home, clean them really good, baking soda and vinegar, or you can buy some of these little tablets that are
Mm-hmm.
vegan that you can put in your water to clean your produce. Please clean your produce.
Yes.
Okay. Because back in the day, I remember my grandmother used to take me to the grocery store with her, and she would grab a grape and eat it out the grocery store to taste the sweetness of it. We can't do that no more.
Mm-mm.
Okay. We need to be very cautious these days.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of warfare on our bodies. There's a lot of things coming at us, whether it's technology, food, even clothing. Okay. They're putting plastic in your clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wrapping your produce in your plastic. And then when you look on your social media, they want you to take it out the wrapper plastic and put it in more plastic and stick it in your shelf. And it's just like, what? So we really have to pay attention to what we're doing on a daily basis. And my planner / journal actually helps with that, right? Because I set this up to where you have enough to last for, you have enough tracking that you can do this for about 2 months in this book. So you have your weekly notes here where you write down the week of, starting on a Sunday or a Monday, whenever your week starts. And then you go here and write down each day, what you plan on eating that day. What did you eat that day? If you're tracking and planning that way, your daily affirmations or prayers, your food goals for the week or for that day. You can track it in the book. So that's what that book is for. My cookbook does something similar. Moving into that one. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I have to move this screen. Okay. It had something away. Okay. So my cookbook actually leads into, they follow one another, so that you can do the planner / journal, or you can do the cookbook. Start with one or the other, whichever way it goes. So my cookbook is called Nurturing Young Hearts, Joyful Family Recipes. When you read the recipes, in the top it starts with what you would feed like a kid between the age of like 1 and 10 or 1 and 15.
Okay.
Something easy and something simple for them. It usually has 1 or 2 ingredients. The ingredients are pretty simple, budget friendly. But then you have what I call in the book the grown-up garnishes. Okay. Like, for example, my first recipe that's in there is a banana oat pancake. Very simple, very easy, putting the bananas in your batter, things of that nature. Easy for anyone to do, because that's the whole point of the cookbook, is to make it easy for anyone. Then as you go down into the grown-up garnishes, what I have put there in the recipe is a vegan tiramisu to go on top of those banana oat pancakes. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay. And on top of that, I'm not a coffee drinker, because a lot of the coffee, it's been said, I'm not quite sure. Okay. So please do your research. But it has been said that some of the coffee in the US is moldy. So again, these are things where we have to do our own research and look for ourselves and really reintroduce ourselves to food again to see what's happening. So I have a mushroom, coffee, in the recipe. There's mushroom. You can just use a mushroom powder like a chaga or a lion's mane. They sell those at Whole Foods. Or you can use another brand of coffee that's made out of mushrooms. Mm-hmm. And use that as your coffee replacement in your tiramisu.
Yeah.
So, and it's good. Oh my God, it's so good. Okay. I got excited for a second.
That's okay. You can be excited. Let me see. Let's take a commercial break and come back. Let us breathe. Yes. We'll just take another little commercial break. This is one of my favorite commercials. Here. So let me get here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the mailman came. I hope my sweet little thing cookie's in here. I just hope it's in here. Let me see. Let me open this up. That's it. Sweet little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh, I'ma have me a ball now. Let me just get this right here. Little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh, yeah. I finally got my cookies. This sweet little thing cookies. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have fun. This package kind of big, though. Man, it got a lot of cookies. Oh, yeah. This the best day ever. I'm trying to tell you, I got my cookies, and I'm going to eat these cookies, and ain't nobody going to stop me. Wait, what?
Marie. What you doing, man? You can't have those cookies right now. I'm sorry, we about to eat dinner. Once we finish dinner, then you can have those cookies. Go ahead, put them up.
Are you serious, bruh? got sweet Listeine cookies, and now I gotta wait for dinner? Fine, can I at least look at the cookies? Thank you. Oh my goodness, I have waited all this time now. I gotta do all this. Fine. Oh yeah. I got my hands on some sweet Listeine cookies. But I can't eat them right now because bruh talking about I gotta wait to dinner. Okay, I'ma do that. But once I finish that, it's gonna be on, y'all.
That's one of my favorites. I always try to have a little something for the children.
Listen, because when I saw it, as soon as he said, you got to wait till after dinner to have them cookies, my 8-year-old instantly came up. And I was just like, oh, that's every day. That's every day.
But that's the lady that I was telling you about. That's her husband.
Nice.
Yeah, he did that for me. So it's a really a nice, they're really nice people. Now, this is my next question for you. Do you think the environment plays a part in your health journey?
Yes, it does. Okay. Let me see. How am I going to say this? The environment is major. This goes into, and I'm sure with a lot of the awareness that's happening now on social media, I'm probably not saying, anything new. So some things I may say may be repetitive, but I'm going to say them anyway. When it comes to your environment, it's everything around you. But your environment also is what's within you as well. Mm-hmm. Right. Because we can look at the things around us and try to change whatever's happening around us. But if we're not doing anything to change, to do the healing within, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, then everything around us in our environment means nothing. But everything, all of it, like we stated earlier, is connected. That's, the lighting in your home to, the Wi-Fi giving off the radiation to, if you're using tap water versus getting clean water and what that looks like with the whole water scenario that's been talked about for years versus where you're going to get your groceries from, right? Like, for example, for me, based on my location, I have to drive at least 15, 20 minutes to get better produce. Mm-hmm. And that's me passing up just a grocery store that has something in it to eat, right? Every time I go to the grocery store for me and my family every 2 weeks, I'm going to like 2 different grocery stores based on, some of the things, some people got some requests in the house.
Yeah, I understand.
But and I'm happily going to get these things, right? Because at the same time, I'm just grateful that my entire family is plant-based. We all eat plant-based. But yes, the environment does play a role. The access to the food, the air quality, which, as we know, it's everywhere. Your water, your lighting, who you're around, who you're sitting next to, who do you share your most deepest thoughts with? Are they a good counsel for you? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Do you even need to speak? I learned this one least recently. Do you even need to speak to anyone or counsel with anyone? Or do you need to just sit back in silence and let your thoughts roll and meditate with yourself? Because the answer has probably been sitting there the whole time. You just got to give yourself time to meditate through it, right? So I think environment is not necessarily important in just like, oh, it's just something important. More so like it's a necessity. Like it's like breathing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's essential because it's basically the way you choose your path in life. You know what I mean? You can walk down somewhere. I recently actually realized that my environment is repeating itself through just, looking through, my day to day or my year this far, I've
Mhm.
noticed that, some things is taking me back down a similar path that I was just in 2 years ago. And I'm like, wow, okay, I think I may have taken a detour for a moment. And now I'm getting placed right back on the path where I was already walking down 2 years ago. And so, yeah, when it comes to, but it took my environment, it took me sitting with myself and meditating with myself. And, sometimes, just to share this one, to be a little transparent, sometimes I even, I'll grab my phone or and then record myself talking it out to myself during
Mhm.
my walks, or just in the car. If it's like a random thought and my thoughts are coming to me, something's
Mhm.
coming to me, and I'm like, I need to hear it out loud, then I'll record myself so that I can come back to it and listen to myself again. They get deleted, but it's a way for me to talk to me, you know um so yeah, make sure that you're definitely choosing the right environment for yourself. That means, choosing the way your food is, who's preparing your food. That's another
Mhm.
environment. What
Mhm.
environment are they in? Are they angry when they're preparing your food? Are they happy singing when they're preparing your food? You know what I mean? Like, all of it plays a major role, because we're, again, like you stated, we're all connected. Everything is connected. So the last thing I want, like, for example, here's a good one. There was a moment where my daughter had big feelings. We call them big feelings. Okay. Things were a little off for her, and that's fine. So we talked it through, and she was getting ready to give me like a piece of paper back or something to that effect. And I was like, "Oh no, I don't want the piece of paper. I'm okay without the piece of paper." And she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because, the energy wrapped around this situation, it's
Yeah.
it's it's not how I want to receive the energy. Because if I'm receiving the energy, I'm saying, yes, okay, I accept it, right?"
Mhm.
And so I asked her to just, politely lay the piece of paper or whatever it was on the table. I'll grab it later when things are not so big feelings, so high up, right? So
Mhm.
we have the choice to create the environment we want as
Yes.
well. And we have more control over the things that happen to us, the things are said to us, the things are fed to us, more than we know. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Yes.
this is something that I also teach to my children as well, because there's a lot of things that we don't have to accept into our environment. Um, and so, yes, environment plays a huge role. So, in that conclusion, I say, watch who you talk to. Okay. Like
Mhm.
my mama say, because she got this from my grandma, a dog that'll bring a bone to carry one.
I
Okay.
see, look, I see you had a mama like man, okay?
Listen,
My mother was, baby, don't nothing hurt a duck but his bill.
listen.
She used to always tell me that because I was like,
Mhm.
always running my mouth. But she just didn't realize that I was kind of probably preparing myself for this
Oh
role
yeah.
that I'm doing now. Yeah, because I always was a talker. Always was a talker.
Same.
So you same here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had, like I said, I've had many opportunities, but uh, I'm enjoying life now. I'm
Yes.
retired and I'm enjoying life. But we're going to take one more commercial
Oh
break.
yeah. Yeah, no problem.
And then we're going to come back and I'm going to ask you that final question. And I also want people to know your other platforms that you're on.
Oh,
When
sure.
we come back with that, we'll talk about that. So let me switch over here to this
Okay.
and let's go to, I got to do this one. All right, we are back.
Yeah.
And this, I wanted to, two things. I want you to tell, because I know you're on other platforms and you do different things on those platforms.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I want you to tell us about your other platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want you to tell us what you would like to leave us with this evening.
No problem. Okay, so I am on Facebook at Candy Treats 6. So that's KandiTreats 6. I did not say that right. And then Instagram is at Candy_treats14. And then my TikTok is kind of like, that's kind of like I just play around on that one. But my main ones are my Facebook and my Instagram. So you can catch me there. My email is candytreats14@gmail.com. And then my Stan store is stan.store/candy treats. So yeah, those are all my platforms. And the one thing that I would want to leave with everyone is,
That's a hard one.
that's a hard one,
Mm-hmm.
especially for people who like to chat it up. Okay, that's a hard one. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I'm gonna go with the the downloads or the things that I've been receiving um, lately. Um, the one thing that I would want to leave with everyone is definitely um, go with your intuition. Um, or in other words, from a church perspective that I grew up on, the power of discernment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're both pretty much the same thing, go hand in hand. If something doesn't feel right, if something doesn't sound right, if something is not acting right, don't second guess it. One of the things that my wise mother always say, uh, she says, I've never heard anyone say that I listened to my first mind or my intuition and it was wrong. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Every time you listen to your intuition or your first mind, the next thing you say, if you don't listen, is, man, I knew I should have. That's the first thing. That voice is the voice that you need to listen to, right? Because that voice for me led me to this platform, right? So here I am, sitting here and I have all of this information and I'm thinking, okay, I just want to teach someone, or should I do a webinar, or, should I do, promote my one-on-one consultations? Because I do those, and those are on my Stan store as well. For one-on-one consultations. That's for someone who wants, like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to start with. I just need
to mention that because that was one of the, yeah.
Yes.
Where if someone wanted to start a plant base, where would they?
Yeah, they can go to stand.store/treats and book a one-on-one consultation with me. I can actually explain a little bit about what goes into that consultation. So once you book your consultation, then I will send you an email with a couple of questions, and you just reply to the email. That gives me a head start to write notes or give me keynotes to start to work on something for you. So I have something to start with in our conversation, so we have somewhere to go. And then as we're talking and discussing everything and you have all of your questions answered, things of that nature, if there is, if I talk about a product, I will send you a picture of what the product look like so you can print it off or screenshot it, take it with you to the store and go get the product. One of the things that I do that I love doing for my clients is giving them direction. Like, the grocery store is a maze when you're learning something new. And so I'm that type of person where I actually had a client where he asked me for guidance for like a week and a half, 2 weeks for meal prep. He lived in another state. So I found the store closest to his address. I found what they had in the store. I based his meal prep and plans off of that and gave him instructions in the email for each one of the recipes based off of his grocery list that I prepared for him. Um, and this was all from one conversation because he let me know he was looking for goals, things of that nature. So I do the research for you. I'm the cheerleader, the coach, the person here to help you through that. And that's what my one-on-one consultations actually do. Okay. So yes, I'm available. And my hours are there in the stand store. So definitely book if you have any questions. And like I said before, if there's a resource or a product or a place where you can go to get something that I don't have currently available, I will make sure it's in your feedback email for you. And then, we can go from there. Right. So, yeah, but definitely follow your intuition. Because again, that's what led me to 2 books. And let me tell you about these books. I started writing these books about a month and a half ago because I already had the information. I just couldn't seem to find.
You couldn't get it together.
I couldn't find the books to satisfy what I was looking for, right? Which leads me to my next project that's coming out. Okay. It's called Nurturing Young Hearts. But it's called Nurturing Young Hearts, the Ultimate Shopping Guide. Okay. Now, in this shopping guide, what I could not find is, you know how you go on Amazon, Miss Anna, and you're looking and you see that they have the cute little shopping notepads and stuff like that. And it just says shopping list at the top and you just write down what you need and how many of it you need in the quantity. Well, for a lot of us these days, we need the budget. Okay. And I couldn't find a notepad to save my time with the pricing on the end. So I made one. Okay. So my book will have not only a place where you can write down your item, how many you need, and the price, so you can total it at the bottom of each page that you're writing. Because I write down the price while I'm in the store. Because as a vegan chef, when we have a budget of a client, we have to do these things, right? I also have, your meal ideas, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks on there. I also have those big words that be on the back of those ingredients. And they have things called e-numbers. Yeah. They have, the colors with the numbers on them. What do they mean? What are they? That's in the book as well. Okay. So all of this is in my upcoming book that is, I guess you could call it a sequel, quote unquote, to the cookbook. It's called Nurturing Young Hearts, the Ultimate Shopping Guide. The release date is coming soon. So definitely go on my Facebook and Instagram for that. But yeah, definitely follow your intuition because it'll lead you to beautiful people like Miss Anna. And then next thing you know, you're just out here helping the community, doing great things.
Yeah. Well, Kandace, she also, I think you can get her book on Amazon. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So you can also go on Amazon and get her books. They're there as well, but you can also go to her stand store and get them as well.
Yep.
Well, I just want to say to you, I want to thank you for coming on this evening. I noticed that, so sometimes people come on all the time. Don't have the same beliefs and things that I kind of try to convey to people. But this evening, you have made me realize that you have some of the same beliefs that I have, because I believe in the whole total being.
Mm-hmm.
and working on the whole total being. I'm just doing mine in a different way,
Yes.
what you are doing. We both are trying to share knowledge and make people more aware of their surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
and just so that you can just live a better life. And I always tell people, none of, and just, I told my granddaughter this today, she's graduating and going to college.
Oh, congrats.
And I told her that, none of us are perfect.
Right.
Okay. And we do stray. You can't
Oh,
help
yeah.
but stray. But the thing of it is, your beliefs and your upbringing should help you get back on that track,
Mm-hmm.
because as human beings, we're going to stray.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
We get distracted and we go over here and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
So, but I do want to thank you for coming on. And I always end my programs with a few words of wisdom. And I call them the 3 L's.
Mm.
Now, the first L is to live. You want to live your life to the fullest. Life is short, so you want to make sure that you can grasp and don't go around being hateful and, doing things to be spiteful, spread kindness.
Oh, yeah.
The second thing is to laugh. People don't realize it, but laughter is so good for the soul. And you can be so down and everything, but when someone comes, they make you mad when you're down and you're mad, and they make you laugh. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
you feel so much better
Yeah.
after you get that laugh out. And then the last thing that I want to leave you with is love.
Mm-hmm.
Love is very important. And I always tell people that in the Bible says you're supposed to love everybody. I used to always tell my grandma, "Oh, please, you can't love everybody." So my grandmother would always tell me, "Baby, yes, you can." She said, "But there are certain people that you have to love with a long wooden spoon."
Mm-hmm.
She would say. And so I always tell people, and I keep that in mind. But the most important person that you need to love is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So self-love is the most important love. So make sure that you also love yourself. And so with that being said, I'm hoping that this evening that we have inspired you. I'm hoping that we have encouraged you. And I'm hoping that we have empowered you to live a healthier lifestyle. And so, with that being said, I am going to bid you farewell this evening. And I always end with my recognition and my sponsors and a few things. And then I'm going to ask Kandace to hold on backstage, and I'll talk to her later. So, have a great evening, everyone. And thank you again for coming on. I'm a little slow here, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it today. It's sad, isn't it?
Nope. Nope. All good.